Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Happy New Year. Oh, boy. All right. Let me get comfortable. And I'm going to say hello to a few people. And then we'll get started, shall we? Let me see here. Um, Let me see. So, who is going to be the first person that I say hello to on the first Royal Sussex of the new year? Um, uh-oh. Okay, it should be a moderator, right? Or why don't I just go to the first person who logged in for Royal Sussex for today? So I'm going to scroll all the way back. So the first person that I'm going to say hi to for the first Royal Sussex of 2023 is Wanda Valentine. Wanda Valentine has been logged in since 2:08 p.m. All right, Happy New Year, Wanda Valentine. There are no prizes, but at least you get street cred. You get a chance to tell all your friends, I was the first. Don't do that. They'll think you're some kind of nerd. And then, of course, Connie Balmer. Welcome, Connie Balmer. And let's see who else. What? Yes, you tell them, Connie Balmer. Jeannie Hyde and Lydia. This is the first time that I say hi to Lydia for the first Royal. You know what? That's going to get old fast, so let me stop. Um, anyway, hi, Lydia. Black Queen, Gwen Daniels, Elena 2012, Elaine Parker, and hi, Verda Sanchez, Lorna Williams, Miranda Rios, Fancy. Did I already say? Yeah, I did say that. And Des Mapp and Miranda Rios again, Lorna Williams, Francilia Mosley. Hello to Rhonda Bryant. And anyway, I'm going to just go ahead and scroll all the way down to the last of the person. Oh, hi, Lily Lamore. Let me see here. Black Queen. Oh, there's Royal Sussex. He said something about starting soon. He's shady. Let me see here. He's so shady. Letitia Malone, I think I said, okay. Audrey Teschner, hi. And Olivia Harris. Let me see. Naomi Campbell. Really? Is that right? Naomi Campbell? Is my eyes playing? Oh, it's Norma. Okay, yes, I'm going to go get some glasses. I swear. All right. Let me clean these things. Let me clean them. Naomi Campbell. Oh, boy. Am I starting off the new year in the most peculiar way? I just said Naomi Campbell. Lort. Oh, Lort. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Oh, Dorothy Ross is here. Mad World. Sherry Ware. Okay, so I'm just going to go all the way. Elaine Parker, thank you so much. Okay, I'm not going to. Okay, this is the last time I'm going to say it. Elaine Parker, do you know that this is the first? This is the first super chat of the first Royal Sussex of 2023. The first. So thank you so much. All right, so this is the last time I'm going to say this is the this or this is the that. No more this is the this or this is the that. So this is the last time I'm going to say that this is the this or this is the that. For 2023. Except for Rick, do you know that this is the first super chat from you for 2023? Isn't that something? All right, so that's the last. This is the this and this is the that. Oh man, I guess I'm still kind of like happy for the new year. We made it, you guys. We made it. All right, so it is 2020. I can't believe I'm saying it's 2023. Do you guys remember when it was 2020 and they kept playing that same clip over and over again from the television show 2020? And Barbara Walters would say, "This is 2020." And it was just like, it made sense. This is 2020, but my God, it's 2023. I'm just not ready. Where did the time go? Oh, where did the time go? All of a sudden, I wake up and I'm in the future. I remember that television show, Space 1999, and that came out in the 70s. And so within 30 years, people were supposed to have been colonizing the moon. Well, 1999 has come and gone, and now it's 2023, and still there's nobody living on the moon. But I suppose there could be if they wanted to. But wow, where did the time go? Well, I'm not going to start that conversation because it's not going to do anything but make me feel old. Jennifer Clark, thank you so much for the this is the this and this is the that for for the you know what. Thank you, and you know what I mean. So thank you for the this is the this and this is the that. Oh man. All right. Let's see here. So, Harry and Meghan, this is going to be a spectacular year for them. So, this is what I've heard so far. Well, I'll tell you one of the things I heard. The others, is that a new membership? Darlene Anderson. Now, see, I got to say it this time. Do you realize that this is the first new membership to Royal Sussex for 2023? Now that's worthy of a this is a this and this. Oh boy, my mouth is hurting from trying to say that. This is anyway. Thank you. I can't get it out, but yes, thank you. You guys, we were. If you missed it, we were on for like 3.5 hours yesterday. Oh, it was insane. It was just like since we had already covered it's the same thing that happened the year before. Before you know it, everybody was like, well, you may as well just stay on because it's almost midnight in the mountain time. Everybody started saying the next thing. Well, you should stay on because it's almost midnight in the Western time, Pacific time. And then, of course, where I had to put up the roadblocks was for Hawaii. I'm just like, no, that's not going to happen. But yes, so thank you, Darlene. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you so much for buying a membership to Royal Sussex. Still a bargain at just $4.99 a month. Now, what you get with that membership is access to those really cool stickers. What you don't get is any extra content. I hadn't gotten around to that yet, but one of these days I will. But thank you so much. And also, is that Whoopi Rock one? Happy New Year, my royal family. Be blessed and safe. Oh, thank you so much. And you are from? Is that? Oh, wait. I don't recognize that one. NL. It's not. Oh, ooh, huh. What country is that? Wait, don't tell me. I'm going to cheat and search it myself. Huh. Oh, Netherlands. Really? That's the flag? How come it doesn't have orange? I thought it would have orange for some reason. For the House of Orange. Okay. But anyway, thank you from the Netherlands. Thank you very much. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. That is the first time that okay, I got to stop doing that. All right. Well, one more. That is the first time that I said Royal Sussex for 2023. See how sentimental I get? Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Okay, so as I was saying, I've heard that you know what? I forgot what I heard. Wait, give me a second. Give me a second. Oh, the Invictus. That there is going to be a come on, senior moment, senior moment. That there is going to be a for 2023 the Invictus game. Anyway, there's going to be a documentary scheduled on Netflix for last year's Invictus game. I think is it called Dream of Invictus? I just saw that. But you know what? I didn't they don't have a banner for it. So it's not going to be about the Invictus in Dusseldorf. Is going to focus, I believe, on the Invictus game from The Hague. So there is going to be a documentary, which I think is going to be very, very successful for, their production company. So look forward to that for 2020. And you know what? If the Invictus Games is in the fall, I'm going to suppose that the documentary will probably come out midsummer. So I would say look for that midsummer. Yeah. Oh, and that's very sad about it. Is it Anita Pointer? Oh my God, I love the Pointer Sisters. I saw that. It's just like she's the first celebrity to pass away for 2023. As far as I know, yeah, she's the first. And the last was, well, I guess you couldn't call him a celebrity, but famous person would have been the Pope, the retired Pope. So interesting. Well, that's the way it ends, and this is how the year begins. But yeah, very sad. I love the Pointer Sisters. So yes, look forward to a documentary coming out about the Invictus Games from Dusseldorf. Well, as we know, they were filming and recording huge parts of it. It is going to be a beautiful documentary. If you guys have seen the photos and the videos, the ones that I shared, the ones that everyone else has shared, and of course things that have been posted to Instagram and other places on social media, amazing event. So I could imagine that the footage that they have from this past Invictus game is going to create quite a buzz. So Invictus Dusseldorf is going to be huge. It's going to be absolutely huge. And if it is possible for you guys to go, I do urge you to try to go. I haven't made up my mind yet. I will know probably next month, or in other words, after tax time. I'm going to wait until after tax time to decide whether I'm going to go. But yeah, so that is probably the way I'm going to deal with it. So, we'll see. Okay. All right. Okay, so with that, you know what, guys? Give me just a second. I did not know a baby boomer could move like that. Ugh. Okay. Ah. Okay, the air was getting kind of foul, and because I don't have the luxury of closing my mouth right now, I needed to do something else. Let me see, Baron, don't change a thing. See you starting the to be forgetful. Let there let there be first first whatever first means whatever first means, or let me do it better like Charles. Whatever first means. Camilla, whatever first means. Well, the guy asked me about love, and I said, whatever love means, so whatever first means. Camilla. Well, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be me. Connie Bummer says, God is blessing Harry and Meghan every day. Let's continue praying for them. Amen. Absolutely. That is what we ought to keep doing, because I think our prayers are actually very, very effective. Let's see. Lorna Williams says, I would like to see the UK send uh, to represent from government at the next Invictus Games. Watch Chucky and Willie Leaks try to put their sticky fingers on it. I doubt if they will participate in any way. And of course, the last Invictus game, it was embarrassing. Well, you know what? We're on the outside looking in, so we don't know what the coverage was like in the UK. But they should have been embarrassed with the fact that they didn't send representatives, like an official group. Like, for instance, there was a delegation from the United States. The United States even produced an Invictus coin. There was a coin that was produced for the United States for the Invictus Games. And if I'm correct, didn't the athletes from the UK, did they arrive by bus? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it just goes to show that with everything that is available, for a modern country like the United Kingdom, that they chose to sit it out basically and pout and not have any official representation. Not They could have even sent like Princess Anne, or they could have sent Anne. They could have sent the Duke of Gloucester, the Duke of Kent. I don't think he travels so well these days, but they could have sent someone to represent at least for that last day. You have the king of the Netherlands there, but you don't have um, the anyone from the royal family except for Harry and Meghan. Now they did have a tent for the United Kingdom of some sort. They had some sort of tent, and I think that's where Meghan interacted with the children. But aside from that, there was no official representation, which is really disgusting. And then, of course, they tried to play up this thing about Harry being snubbed by the Dutch royal family, which was not true. The last day of the event, King Willem Alexander did show up, and he and Harry was quite cordial, and Harry, of course, was very respectful to him, meaning that he did do the obligatory bow and shake his hand and everything. So, his training as a member of the royal family has not been wasted, and he did exactly what he was taught from childhood, and that was to be respectful to the other royal houses of Europe. So Harry did everything he was supposed to do, but the for whatever reason in Britain, things just it was a shame. They should have been embarrassed by their lack of participation. Whatever you feel about Harry, you got people representing the United Kingdom, the armed forces, the wounded soldiers and such, and nobody shows up. If I can quote the kid from Scotland, disgusting. That was disgusting. So let me see here. All right. So I'm going to continue. Um, yeah. Okay. All right. And take a look at a couple of comments before I move on. Let me take that away. Let me see. It was deliberate because it would look as if they were supporting, they are supporting Harry. It just shows how petty the UK and royal family are. Very true. Petty, petty, petty. Okay. All right. Happy New Year's to those of you guys that are just joining us. And moving on. There we go. So this was the little thing I made for Royal Sussex, and that, of course, is 2023. Celebrating the new year. There's the Sussexes, part of the fireworks for 2023, and Live to Lead. I've only watched the first one still, so I intend to binge watch my way through at least 4 episodes today. So when I'm done here, I'm going to do some light cleaning, and then I am going to go and watch more of Live to Lead. So I've only watched the one with the notorious RBG, and that's of course Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and it was lovely. Now, you guys, it is presented, as it says there, presented by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. So, as far as I know, I don't think that they're doing the interviews with the people in the series. This is something that is done with the Nelson Mandela Foundation, or was it inspired by Nelson Mandela? But anyway, it's about leadership. So they do the presentation. This is part of their production. The Sussexes are destined to be producers. So we may not see them in front of the camera as often in the future. Just so that you guys know, we should not see them in front of the camera as often in the future because they want to be on the production side of things. Now, as quite frankly, if you are trying to build wealth, that is the place to be. Production, production, production. That is how so many people in Hollywood have earned their fortunes and secured their finances is through production. So if you notice here on the left, it says Archwell Productions, and on the right, executive producers Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. And there it is on the screen. Thank you for the squatty who's taking these screenshots. But you can see up there at the top with Archwell Productions, and at the bottom, of course, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex as executive producers. So this is where we will see them more often. And of course, being presented by, they did do some talking during the thing, but make sure you support this project because we want to make sure that they are very well um, represented and by the Sussex squad because that's what we do. So make sure that and it's on Netflix. For those of you that don't know, it is on Netflix. That's how you watch it. So look forward to the producers, executive producers, in the very near future. And you guys, God has smiled upon Brazil. Lula, as he is known, has taken the oath of office. He returns as the president of Brazil. Trust me, this is very important. Brazil's rainforests were being raped and pillaged by the former president, Bolsonaro, who, let me put it to you like this. Lula, uh, he helped to implement a satellite system that in real time could tell you when the great forests of Brazil was being depleted, the rainforest. which is like the lungs of Earth. And so his predecessor, who is the incarnation of Trump, he's just like Trump. He allowed the logging companies to go into the rainforest and just deplete acres and acres, tens of thousands of acres of rainforest disappeared because of the Bolsonaro. So it's something that a lot of people have been concerned about. So thank God. And it wasn't necessarily, a given that this guy would win. And of course, they had a runoff election and he still won. So believe me, this is a big deal. And thank God he is back in office. So the lungs of planet Earth is actually safe again, I hope. It's going to take a while, but some of what was lost cannot be replaced. That's how awful it was. And then there's this. Okay, so books are in the bookstore, right? They just haven't put them out yet. As you can see right here, this very eager young lady is actually posing with one of the spares. Right there it says Brightside Books Flag. That's a weird name. Brightside Book Flags. We are royally excited for the publication of Prince Harry's new memoir, Spare, January 10th, 2023. Who else is looking forward to this new expose on royal life? So they are offering it at 10% off. You can do a pre-order with them. And let me see, do I have the link there? Well, those are the links. So the books are in the bookstore, but they can't release those until the 10th. So they've already shipped them out. And well, just expect for them to be there. That's all I can say is they are out. They're in the shops in some cases and just waiting for you to go and buy one or buy it and donate it to the local library or something of that effect, huh? So, well, yeah, thank you, Sonia Davidson. Yeah, well, he's much better than the other one. I do know that he was accused of corruption, but the plight of the rainforest is far more important than anything else at this point. Let me see. Not only the rainforest was under attack, but the people that lived in the rainforest as well. I believe silver and mercury was being released in the water. Yes, Mad World, they were doing a job. They were really doing a job on the people in and in the rainforest. There's ancient tribes and civilizations that have thrived for thousands of years, and these merciless companies were going into these habitats, and of course the wildlife was being driven away and destroyed. So it's just like that movie Avatar, where you got it. The trees sustained a lot of wildlife, and then they were gone. So just if you guys go and Google some of those photos from the depletion of the Brazilian rainforest, it is enough to make you cry. It's like scars. It's like burns. When you look at the map, it looks like an area has been well, and in some cases they have burned them, but it's awful to look at. Very, very sad. And it affects the weather around the world. It really affects the weather everywhere. So God bless Lula. All right, moving on. So Prince Harry is doing 2 major TV interviews to promote his memoir, The Spare. Again, Do nothing until you hear from Harry and Meghan. Montecito, there are no leaks, so we just don't know. But it has been speculated that the spare is going to be pretty heavy-handed on his brother and a pretty light touch on Charles. Well, if you consider this, meaning that some people are actually already thumbing through the book, okay? Some people are already thumbing through the book. I'm not accusing this young lady of having done so, um, but I'm pretty sure that in other situations, people have already gotten access to it. And, we don't know for sure. Maybe, maybe not. Um, there's just speculation right now. We won't know until we actually get the book. And when I say that, don't go by what the pundits are saying. If you haven't read it yourself, then you just can't know because they're in attack mode, and they are going to try to discredit this book every turn they get, and we have to be there to push back against that, to make sure that the spare is fairly represented instead of taking the words of people that are going to try to twist everything that's in the book. So if William is getting his comeuppance, I say it's high time because, well, just because. I mean, he has been known to have been a bully, but then you can say that about a lot of people in that family. But in particular, the Sussexes were driven out of that country because of him. Notice that I don't even bother to say allegedly. It's just what I believe. I believe that they were driven out of the country because of him and his staff, and of course, that mumbling person that he's married to. They are the ones that instigated the exit from the United Kingdom. Let's see. I heard CNN say the book is going to release more on William and light on. Well, yeah, yeah, definitely. It, William is going to be the focus. That is where the hardship comes from. That is that's Harry's closest relation in the family. I mean, who else is he closer to or have been closest to but his brother? And a long time ago, when the whole thing about Archie's skin color came out, I never thought it was Charles. I always thought it was William because it takes someone petty and malicious to, like a sibling, as I said long time ago. That seems like something that is a product of a sibling. And it's not whether or not he knows better, it's only a matter of him using every device he has to try to um, make Harry doubt his situation or try to discourage him from marrying the person that he wants to marry. I just feel like that gives me that sibling rivalry, jealousy. That is why I believe that when it comes to the skin color thing, I'm leaning toward William. That's and I think that it was said just to upset Harry. That's just one of those little things where you try to gaslight someone and make them feel awful and make them doubt themselves and make them second guess their situation. Whereas Harry had probably always been very supportive to William. I'm almost sure William hasn't, acted honorably where Harry is concerned, and certainly not with Meghan, because as I've said, I don't believe the bullying claims, but here's the thing: the staff at Kensington Palace, that's the help. Whatever you think, that's this is the help. You don't go and take the side of the help over your brother or your sister-in-law. I don't care what the circumstances are. That's the help. These people come and go, but your brother is your brother. That's the help. Even if you don't care about the sister-in-law, that's to help. That is to help. They don't have to be there. Some of them are just hoping to put this on their resume or their CV so that when they go on to something better, they can say, well, I was there. But that's to help. You don't put the help before your family. So, you know, this idea that William was so furious that he felt like he had to act. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Now, either that's the staff or the Sussexes or not. But because they were never really obliged to listen to Harry and Meghan, that they were still answering to William. I mean, where did Jason Knopf come from? Jason Knopf came from William. William is the one who pushed Knopf on the Sussexes, just like it was the Queen that it seems like she kind of gave Samantha Cohen a bit of a demotion. I'm sure Samantha Cohen could not have been happy about going over to work with Harry and Meghan. I mean, you're the Queen's secretary, and they're sending you to go and work with who? With the American actress that's married to the Spare? I'm pretty sure she wasn't enthusiastic about that. It doesn't matter the fact that the Sussexes work harder, are more popular, and were more popular then. That wasn't the case for her. She wanted to be where the power was, and that, of course, would be the Queen, which is why she was honored with that Royal Victorian Order. This is why she was here and here, ever so watchful. And of course, she didn't stop thinking about just, I'm here to support the Queen. Of course, long term, she wanted to be in favor with that institution. So obviously, like everybody else, after William, then of course you start throwing your loyalty toward Charles because Charles is next in line. So it's really a weird system that you would have people go to work as an aide to lend guidance to Meghan, or someone who is supposed to be a press secretary, communications officer for the Sussexes, but it seems as though he still was answering directly to William. Ali B, thank you so much for a membership. You just got a membership, I think. Thank you so much for that. And thank you, of course, for watching Royal Sussex. And Connie Balmer, Happy New Year, squad. Let's see. Blessings to us all, 2023. So Happy New Year to the squaddies from Connie Balmer. Thank you so much for the super chat. And Connie, I just heard that when it comes to the happiest people on earth, Switzerland has been ranked like number 3 out of the top 10, along with Sweden, Finland, Denmark, and a few other places that are up there at the top. Wow. That sounds almost as close as you can get to heaven and still be alive. I have to think again about this Switzerland. I hope they got room for me. But thank you, Connie Balmer. But yes, I hear on the happiness index, Switzerland is way up there at the top. Okay, so where was I at? I was over here. Okay, and then there's this. So Tom Bradby and Anderson Cooper, between the two of them, I believe that they are likely to do the first interviews. I understand we got to wait because we don't know for sure. However, this just makes sense to me. Tom Bradby had a falling out with William because of the fair treatment that he gave to Harry and Meghan. And Anderson Cooper, well, I mean, it can't be Oprah because there's too much connection there. And in order to have credibility, I would think that would be a bad idea, right? You definitely wouldn't want the likes of Gail, because Gail is kind of close to Oprah and has been defending the Sussexes for quite some time. So let's rule out that. But there's going to be an interview, a big interview for the UK, I believe. And there's going to be a big interview for the US. I believe that as well. And so after these two, aside from, smaller outlets or whatever, these may be the only interviews. So, in order to limit exposure, because the more exposure you have, the more vulnerable your situation, in order to limit that exposure, which is the smart thing to do, because every word that Harry says is going to be analyzed and misrepresented by the royal rodents. I just think it makes sense. So I'm leaning toward believing that Tom Bradby, who has been friends with Harry and William for a long time, is likely to get an interview for, I think it's ITV. And don't forget, you guys, William publicly said that he, well, not publicly, but he made an official statement that he was ending his friendship, like he was some kind of mafioso boss or something, that he was ending his friendship with Tom Bradby, which to me is just like you're trying to destroy his career. But, and then of course, there's Anderson Cooper, who is one of the more trusted news people, journalists in the United States. And as I'm thinking about it right now, I just can't think of anyone else that would be suitable, have the right stature, of course, and that we would hope would be fair. So we don't want them to just go easy, but we want it to be fair. That's the main thing. As long as it's fair, as long as they're not going to try to, I guess, twist it into something that it's not supposed to be, or edit or misrepresent the Sussexes or Harry for that matter, then I think I'm going to guess that it's just, I'm leaning toward, yeah, this is probably true. Now, another thing that you could use as as a way of saying yes, yes, I believe it is likely true. Listen to this little sound bite from New Year's. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but I'll put it out there anyway. It's very short. It's very short.
I know you haven't seen this. You don't watch my 60 Minutes. I know. I see some of them. I'm gonna be watching the one on the 9th, a week from Sunday. Uh,
Okay, so I know that was very I know that was difficult to hear, but on New Year's you had Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper, and Anderson said, "Do you not watch my 60 Minutes?" And he said, oh, Andy Cohen said, "Yes." He said, "No, I don't watch all of them, but I am watching the one on the 9th." He said, "I'll make sure that I'm watching the one that's coming on the 9th." And then he went, "Shh." Now, the book comes out on the 10th, and the 9th, I suppose that's Sunday. Sounds like the right timing, right? It just sounds like the right timing. So let me see, 60 Minutes. Well, that would be a Monday. If it's the 9th, that's a Monday and not a Sunday. So I don't know, maybe they're doing a special on the 9th, and then that's the day before the book. Now, what makes that make sense is that if they do it like that, then that's less opportunity for the tabloid press to try and spin it, because that's the only thing that they have, is to try to spin the storyline about the book and create a lot of confusion. So if you schedule, a big interview the day before, then that gives them less time for mischief. Like if you recall, they were, but you know what? This week, we'll find out in just a couple days if they have any preview commercials or promos. If they have any promos coming up this week, then we'll know for sure. So um, I'm just going to guess that it's going to be these two. And then again, maybe not. Maybe not. They may have allowed people to believe what they want to believe, and then maybe they'll go another direction. So hard to say. Anderson Cooper may also frame questions based on what his own family went through. Mother Gloria Vanderbilt travails, and of course, the suicide of his brother Carter Vanderbilt Cooper. Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's a certain sensitivity there. Let me see. Screaming Baldy Potato Head Bully. Oh, I'm sorry. And Fu says, screaming, baldy, potato head bully, accept the fact that Hero Harry is better than you. I mean, far, far better than you, Willy Wonka. Okay. So, as you mentioned, the history of Cooper's family. This is the Biltmore. This is just one of the lavish homes that was built by the Vanderbilts. Now, this particular Vanderbilt, oh, he inherited a fortune. This is in Asheville, North Carolina. And I took this photo myself. One of the places I always wanted to visit. I said to myself, so you have been to all these castles in Europe. You do know there's castles here in the United States. Why don't you go and see one? So I went to the Biltmore. This is like one of the largest private homes in the United States that has ever been built, and I think it was completed around the 1890s, was it? Um, the house is so massive that they had to build a railroad just to bring in the materials. The train lines that were built in this pristine, untouched area was created because there was no other way to get the material there. There's not like a river or something like that where you could float the materials. So the views from the back of the house are incredible. They have a loggia, which is kind of like a big porch on the back of the house, but it's called a loggia, and it's got columns and arches, and it looks out over the mountains behind it. So incredible view. And this is me standing on the front lawn of the Biltmore, and that is like an atrium that was created to greet their guests, and they had it all decorated for Christmas back in 2019, was it? Yeah, I think it was 2019. And so the entire house was decorated for Christmas in 2019. This was like November, I think it was November the 19th or something like that. But yeah, it was November of 2019. I would have rather have seen it without all of the Christmas stuff, but I guess that's a good excuse to go back. So this is what the ancestors of Anderson Cooper built with their nouveau riche income from the. I think they made their money from shipping and the railroads and such. Um, Now, if you're wondering what this is on the right side, have you ever
Prince William or Prince Harry?
Oh, wow, where did that come from? Uh, wow. Oh. Let me get rid of that. That scared me. All right. That was, I think, something that was a Twitter that was open. So, if you're wondering what that is on the right side, I will tell you. If you ever gone somewhere and you have seen a detail that just completely fascinated you for whatever reason, I looked at this door and I saw the way it was carved in such incredible details. Okay, incredible details. This door's got to be like 120 years old. And throughout the house, they have these doors that has the carving on it like that. And so I took a photo of it, and I was looking at a documentary one day, and they actually said what it's called. It's called a linen fold, as though you have folded fabric. So they call that architectural detail a linen fold. So That is why I took a photo of it, because I thought it was just one of the most interesting things in all of the house, with all of those imported interiors from Europe, with all of those, handcrafted things from America. The only thing that really caught my eye was a linen fold carving on the doors. So very, very cool. All right, so Hen Pal says, Happy New Year, Baron. I don't know if anyone else has commented on William's book. He doesn't look like any of the other royals with a small R. Really? William has a book? William has a book? Really? Huh? I didn't know that. But isn't that the problem for the other royals? That they can have something like that and nobody is aware of it? But thank you so much, Hen Pow, and thank you for the super chat. And as always, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Dorothy Ross says, we all know for sure that the book will be picked at word for word. No one in the press will be okay with it. Very true, Dorothy Ross. So, so true. Let me see. Elaine Babb, super sticker. Thank you very much. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And Mad World says, Baron, there could be an interview, but they are keeping it close to their chest due to past experience when Harry or Meghan gave an interview because the British media is so much drama. Yeah, but you know what? There's no way that they're just going to drop it and that's the end of it. They are going to have previews, or they're going to promote it to make sure that people watch it. And it probably, as soon as today, if there is an interview, they will probably start promoting it very soon, because they want to make sure that they build up the anticipation so people will watch it. So it is kind of curious that they haven't done that yet. So maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe this is all just a big misunderstanding. It's not impossible. In Style magazine has an article on impending 60 Minutes interview, but I question it because it references the mirror. Ooh, now see there? Ah, yeah. Well, you guys, how could we know for sure? Let me see. Gloria Vanderbilt had a traumatic childhood after her father died. She was taken from her mother because her father's family considered her mother as a gold digger. I remember that big case, right? Didn't the grandmother want custody or something like that? But yeah, there was a big case about Gloria, and she was nicknamed the poor little rich girl. I think I saw the movie. Didn't Susan Lucci play that movie, or was she the mafia princess? Or did she play both? But I think I recall the movie. Um, yeah, but either way, um, interesting family, the Vanderbilts. Let me see. Did I get a? Yes, got a PayPal. Thank you so much. I guess I shouldn't say the name, but thank you so much for the PayPal. I mean, thank you very much for the PayPal. But yes, I just saw that, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. That was very nice of you. Okay, so God, I look awful in that photo. I was so tired. I mean, even I think I look like I was on that stuff. Let me see. Thank you, Jill S, for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And Happy New Year to you. Thank you very much. But yeah, and I don't look like a virgin in that photo either. I don't look like that handsome virgin. Let me see. Just scrolling back a little bit, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. Okay, so let's move on. Now, this was rather concerning. Um, all right, so I do believe that Aretha Franklin is still considered the greatest singer of all time, and rightly so. No debate, not up for argument. They had to make somebody number one, Aretha Franklin, the greatest singer of all time. So they updated the list for 2023. Rolling Stone magazine has updated the list of the 200 greatest singers of all time. So they have expanded the list over time. Now, they also have the greatest act, the greatest bands, but when it comes to the greatest singer of all times, um, Aretha, pure and simple. This is the person everyone in the music industry has looked up to for years as the greatest. So, doesn't mean she put on the best show. It doesn't mean that she should have worn those gowns with those spaghetti straps, which always frightened me because it looked like those spaghetti straps were under a great deal of strain. Um, yeah, doesn't mean any of that stuff. Doesn't mean best dressed. It doesn't mean best dressed. Certainly didn't mean best dressed. I mean, there was days when I would just say, "Oh, Aretha." Now, listen, I don't like to just criticize Aretha for the sake of it, but them gowns, oh, how many sleepless nights did I have thinking about Aretha Franklin in a spaghetti strap? It was terrifying because you just never knew when those straps were going to give loose. And I'm like, Aretha, please, 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 somebody pull her to the side. Someone who don't mind getting cussed out, of course. Somebody please pull her to the side and say something to her about those spaghetti straps. And there was just no one with the courage to do it. But aside from all of that, still the greatest singer of all time. And there's a lot of good choices out there. Like for instance, I love Frank Sinatra. I think Sinatra is it should be high on the list. The guy had a way. Um, but this is what's disappointing. They omitted Celine Dion. Celine Dion was not included on Rolling Stone's 200 greatest singers of all times list. Celine Dion? Celine Dion? Celine Dion was not included? Are you insane? Um, that would be like not including Barbara Streisand. You have to have Barbara Streisand. But Celine Dion? Yes, Black Queen. Is that insane? Now, of course, aside from having an amazing voice, anybody wearing a cup size like Aretha with the courage to wear spaghetti straps, that alone is qualifications. But Aretha, as her father say, was just a stone singer. um, but Celine Dion, yes, Mo Shannon, how could they? That somebody, Celine Dion, how could they not? I mean, just and not only that, but Celine Dion is just a good person. She deserves better than that, especially she's going through a health crisis. By the way, I think Adele was number 22, okay? But I just don't see a world where Celine Dion would not make that list. She's just too powerful. Yes, Luther Vandross, of course, is on the list. But okay, now I will even say this much. You could still say that Whitney Houston is the voice. But when it comes to longevity, quality, appeal, and of course, all around everything, it's just plain Aretha. You just don't get any better than Aretha. Now, it doesn't mean that, her voice was always amazing, but it's just that so many people, um, she's just always been very central to the music industry. Ever since the 1970s, when she just swept through all those categories. And you guys, to this day, the number one gospel album, the best selling gospel album ever, is still Aretha Franklin's Amazing Grace. Still number one after all these years. And there have been times when Aretha has gotten on my last nerve, but still, I still possess an Andy Warhol poster of Aretha Franklin from her Aretha album. I still have that Andy Warhol poster, and let's see, it comes the um, from the record company. It's not a reprint. It comes from the record company, and I bought it back in the 1980s, I think. Yeah, I bought it back in the 1980s. I paid $36 for it. And I tell you, I went to every what do you call it? I went to every poster shop that I ever passed. I would ask again and again, do you have the Aretha Franklin Andy Warhol poster? And nobody had it. And of course, I think this was not long after Andy Warhol had died, or maybe it was just before that. And anyway, I found it. And I think the last time I looked on eBay, they were selling one for about $350. So I don't know. Maybe the price is better. Maybe it's lower, but I do have it. I have the LP. So I'm just the point that I'm making. I am a huge Aretha Franklin fan, um, and I just have to say that my own biased opinion, greatest singer of all time, bar none, and then everybody else. Aretha first, and then everybody else. And that's just the way it is. Let me see. Poster. I'm looking for the price right now. Poster. Man, I don't even see it. Let me see. That is nope, that's a small poster, not the big one. I got the 34 by I'm sorry, 24 by 36. That's the one I have. I don't even see it on there on sale right now. 24 by 36. But yeah, they slighted Celine Dion, and that is patently unfair. Oh, wow, you guys. Somebody has the poster, a lithograph. Now, I don't think mine is a lithograph. At least I don't know. But it says unopened $4,500. Wow, $4,500. And they say that this one is unopened. Now, the one that I got is obviously open. It may be a lithograph. I don't know. But that same poster that I have, I see it on Amazon for $4,500. And as they say on the antique road sale, I would never sell it. I would never sell it. Now, some of those people on the Antique Roadshow, I would say if you're like 90 years old, girl, go ahead and sell that poster. Go ahead and sell it because otherwise you're 91 years old. You could use that money to go to Disney World. You know what I'm saying? Go on ahead and sell that poster, girl. Wow, I wonder how much mine would be worth since it's opened and it's professionally framed. But I wonder how much mine would be worth. I'm sure it's not $4,500, but I did take it to get it framed. Anyway, sorry, Celine Dion, you deserve better. Now, this is kind of curious. Exclusive Princess Anne heads to California to deal with Harry and Meghan amid Netflix fallout. Come on. I've never heard of this magazine before, but I thought it was funny. Could you imagine Princess Anne stomping her feet and bristling like a horse? Just angry beyond repair. Could you imagine her stumping her feet like National Velvet and then boarding a plane and going to Montecito for what? Has she not seen the Sussex security team? I wouldn't if I was you. But you know what? If I was Harry and Meghan, just to say I did, if you hear something go, run to the panic room. Just run to the panic room. Don't take any chances because I could imagine the Sussexes sitting in their like den or TV room or wherever their little entertainment room, and all of a sudden a big horse comes crashing through the window. Do you know what it looks like when a horse goes crashing through a plate glass window? So, and I like the fact that they put her in a military uniform to make it look like she's really going after somebody. Even if she went there, what the hell can she do? Prince Harry is a grown man. Princess Meghan is a grown woman with their families. She has nothing to say. But that's the article. You know what? I didn't bother to read the article because I thought it was so stupid. But I could just imagine, you know, Meghan in her tea house on their property in her tea house, and then all of a sudden you hear, and of course you say, "Well, what's that?" And there's like a horse galloping across the lawn. Uh, Woo! Oh man. Oh, that would be that. And of course, she's gonna have on her little fleece vest and have that hair pulled up in the bun, and have a little pick in the back of her hair. Oh man, that would be a sight. That would be a sight. Now, coronation invite for race row royal aid. So apparently, Susan Hussey, this is why they wanted to straighten that out, is to make sure that Susan Hussey gets her invite to the coronation. Well, I have a feeling that the reason why they made sure that they put this guy, of course, oh gosh, I hate to say his name, but Jason Knopf, the reason why they put him on the honors list is so that it will make sense for him to be invited to the coronation. So look for him. He may even have some, important role to fulfill. Um, but he'll probably be there. My guess is that Jason Knopf will be at the coronation, and some photographer may actually snap a photo of him. Maybe, maybe not, but she'll be there. I can almost guarantee you that she'll be there. And who knows? Maybe they'll sit him right next to Susan. If you guys missed this yesterday, one of the squatties posted an image, and it was shared by Glow of Jason Knopf. So, who on the odd chance that he walks in with William rather than Mumbles, I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it. Um, there we go. And then there is Feldbank RBS spin doctor Jason Knopf to be Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. Uh, to be Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and Prince Harry's new communications secretary. So Richard Eden didn't think much of Jason Knopf when he wrote this tweet back in 2014. So yes, he had been there with them. Let me see, 2014, 8 years, or 7 years, okay, 14 to 18 when he went with the Sussexes. Yeah, so that's about what, 8 years that he's been hanging around that family. 8 years that he's been hanging around that family. Now, at that point, when he was hired on, the Sussexes hadn't even met. But Richard Eden hates somebody before he starts supporting someone. Have you guys noticed that there are so many tweets? And Richard Eden is not the only one. There's other royal reporters where their first tweets, their initial tweets, is their real feelings. Failed bank, RBS spin doctor. Now that right there is an insult. Spin doctor, not communication, spin doctor. So now, of course, Richard Eden has changed his tune. Baron, they think Meghan is Kate. With Meghan, Anne's may ends up thrown down in a pool. Well, they say horses can swim. Uh, that's how they say it in the country. A horse. A horse can. They say horses can swim. Ho- Horses can swim, so I think she'll be okay. To allow the queen to give her husband Captain Philip title, probably because he fathered a child with allegedly. Ooh, what? Probably because he allegedly fathered a child with the first year of their marriage. I never heard that before. What? Really? Ooh, that's some dirt. I never heard that before. Ooh, boy, squatties, put your claws away. Y'all just full of dirt today. Alleged dirt. Oh man, that's too funny. I never heard that. Let me see. Yes, I was watching CNN last night, and the Cohen was mentioning it, and it's a Cooper. I'm waiting for the big one on the ninth. Is all about up and coming interviews. I'm sure it's Harry. Oh yeah, I mean it just makes sense. That's what he said. He said, but I'm going to make sure that I watch the one on the big one on the ninth. So, uh, yeah, I'm guessing it's true. Let me see here. Calling Princess Lady Diana is an insult to her by demoting her status in the divorce she kept. Who did that? Who did that? I heard that earlier today. Who did that? Duchess. Oh yes. Oh, there we go. Hey, and let me see. Eating steamed uh goiza. What is that? Goiza. Oh my God, that Photoshop picture of Jason. Oh, you like that one? Let me go back to that one. Let me see if I can find that one. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I'm on like a minute delay, but it seems like the delay is so much longer than it was before. Okay. All right. So this poor, pathetic, wretched soul. Let me see. I got to pull that down. I can't see it. Eamon Holmes seen with crutches at celeb party as he updates his health battle. I shouldn't laugh. That's not funny. This guy he's his back is messed up. He's had the shingles. I still don't know what that is, but I know it's some kind of inflammation of the skin or something like that. And then also, and then You guys, I don't want to be hypercritical because he can't help the situation. But if your head was that doggone bulbous and large, wouldn't it throw your balance off? I mean, if your head was as large and as massive as his, and look at how tiny his feet are, is there any wonder he constantly loses his balance? I mean, why would you wonder why someone, especially he's getting on in years, although he's not that old, but I just think it makes sense that he would lose his balance. Maybe he ought to like get some clown shoes, something that gives him a better center of gravity, because his center of gravity is off. You know, could you imagine him just like waking up in the morning and stumbling across the floor like what? Because his head is so large. So I'm not surprised that happened. He's got a large cranial mass, a massive cranial mass, and it throws his balance off. I mean, look at those little tiny shoulders. He's like the world's oldest toddler. So either he needs to buy clown shoes or get a helmet or something. But yeah, so that explains that. I don't know why I'm not a doctor. And then there's this very curious thing. Didn't we see this before with Pierce Morgan? Why do they keep taking these photos? The weakest, spineless individuals will take these photos like they're boxing somebody. I don't understand that. It's like, God, please save them from themselves. This is so stupid. There is nobody that is looking at this image and finds it the least bit intimidating. And of course, in my case, I wouldn't fight with him. I don't hit women. I couldn't punch her in the face. Look at those cheekbones. She looks too much like a woman. I could not strike a woman, so I would just have to go ahead and take whatever blows are coming my way because it's not right to hit a woman. And even though I know technically this is supposed to be a man with those incredible cheekbones and contoured features, I still would have, it's too confusing. That's all. I know I'm not changing his gender, but I'm just saying it's too confusing in my mind, that very part of my DNA that says fight or flight, this part of my DNA would say it's not right to hit a woman and just, you know, turn the other cheek or something. No, I turn the other cheek, not her, him, or her. But yeah, she looks too much like Sharon Osbourne. That's the thing. I just feel like I'm looking at Sharon Osbourne, um, with that, rather theatrical looking thing going on. So, well, thank you, Sheila Watson. Sheila Watson says she would do it for me. Um, ah, well, um, anyway, you guys, I think that is it for today. Hour and 20 minutes, not bad. Please prepare your last comments because I am going to make like a tree. Speaking of trees, in case you missed this yesterday, almost forgot to share this festive image from last year's spot. The difference? No. Someone compared they to a Christmas tree. And of course, okay, we did that one. Yeah, so and I showed this yesterday because I know that you had mentioned you know, so yeah, I shared that. And that of course is not, it's not based on these coins because there's not enough drones to do that, but it's based on those. So, and if you notice that the queen is looking in one direction and Charles is looking in the other direction, one of those odd but interesting little traditions that they have is that one sovereign faces the opposite direction from the other sovereign. So that's kind of like an unwritten rule, but it's a tradition. So when William's coin comes out, William is going to show the right side of his face, and then if it's George that comes up next, then George will face the same direction as Charles, showing the left side of his face. That's a little factoid. And then if they ever have a consort coin, it is probably going to look like the one at the bottom there. All right, you guys, thank you very much. That is it for Royal Sussex today. I am going to go and finish watching my oh guys, what do you guys think about this? Not for now for sorry, now for Meghan's memoir. What do you guys think about that one? Oh, thank you, Sherry Ware. Sherry Ware has a list. Let me find that list. But all right. Oh no, that's not it. All right, the list. Piers Morgan bringing on. Oh, okay. Samantha Marco charges you to breathe. Okay. Okay, let me stop. I'm looking at stuff on Twitter. I don't mean to do that. Okay, so donation list. Thank you so much, Elaine Parker, Jennifer Clark, Darlene Anderson for the new membership, Whoopi Rock One, Rick, Connie Bomber for the soup sticker, Ali B, new membership, Hen Powell, thank you, Elaine Babb, thank you, Gail S, thank you, and mysterious person on the um, PayPal, thank you as well. Let me see here. Yes, thank you and thank you. All right, you guys, I think we are good. I'm going to scan through the last of the comments here. 1960 says, Happy New Year, Baron. Everyone, please remember to rate. Oh, yes, thank you, 1960. Rate, live to lead. Twitter is saying the Derangers are giving low ratings to the series. How petty. Oh, you guys, that is so important. We have to do that. I don't know how to do it, but we have to do that. As soon as I figure it out, I will share it. Let me see. Love the podcast, Baron and Squatties. Hope everyone has a great evening. Looking at Harry and Meghan's special is fabulous. Bye. Thank you, Gwen Daniels. Let me see. These racist fools have no idea of Meghan's plans. However, I hope Meghan writes a memoir. Well, I mean, cookies and cream. It's a matter of when, not if. And we know it's going to happen. And of course, yes, they are um, trying to use it as clickbait. And I tell you what, if I don't get anything else out of it, the fact that the Derangers will be crapping their pants is interesting and lovely enough for me. So I hope they do crap their pants. Let me see. So long, Darlene Anderson. Lou Lee. Vetty. Hi, Vetty. I didn't know you were here. Marjorie. Les Megan keeps them guessing. No memoir for her now. Yes, better to keep them guessing. I like that too. And you guys, if you are going to Invictus, that's nice too. But on Saturday, May the 6th, 2023, they're going to have a protest of the coronation. So I'm going to show up with some, alcoholic beverages and some massage oil just in case any of the protesters, just in case any of the protesters have a need to relax and wants to get to know anybody better. I will be there with a scented massage oil as well as um, some wine coolers. So, just in case somebody needs it. You know what I'm saying? Um, Scented massage oils, self heating, of course, and some wine coolers, just for relaxation, just in case any of the protesters needs to unwind during the protests, then then we'll be ready, right? Right. Oh man. Okay. Let me see. Uh, Save up $5 more for the man in the yellow shirt. Okay. Let me see, Baron. I actually think you will be there and in Dusseldorf too. Yeah. Okay. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. As I said, I'll know better next month. But I do want to go. It would be nice, but I'd probably like back in the old days when I was staying um at the um at the hostels, it was just so much cheaper to travel. But now in this post-pandemic world, I don't think I'm going to stay at any hostel. So my hostel days are likely over. I have had my fifth, shot or whatever, but I just don't feel like I'm ready for that. I mean, I'm still wearing my face mask. And then one of my friends told me that she had an awful bronchitis. And I'm just like, see, that's going around. Every time I turn around, there's somebody with a bronchitis. So I just don't want anything. And I certainly don't want to be in that situation. So if I do go, it is very important that I stay at a hotel and not, in a communal situation. Even though I loved it in the past, I doubt if I'll do that again. So, but yeah, I would love to be there. But yeah, we'll see. And if I do go, I mean, I'm not going to stay just there. There's a couple of places in Europe that I have wanted to go that I will make sure that I visit on that same trip. So I will probably be there for at least 3 weeks. If I do go, I'm going to be in Europe for at least 3 weeks because I got some things I need to see that are on my list of things to do. And yeah, it's not exactly in the neighborhood, but it seemed like it would be a good overnight train trip away. So that is something that's on the table. Yeah, I would like to go to Switzerland because not only Switzerland, but Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein is very close, right? Neighbors with Switzerland. So I gotta go there. So if I go to Switzerland, then Liechtenstein is next, and maybe even Luxembourg. I mean, it's all in the same neighborhood, right? So maybe even that. So yeah, I would. But Luxembourg and Liechtenstein definitely day trips. I wouldn't stay there. Those would definitely be a day trip. But you know, I would love to go to Switzerland and stand on the mountains and yell, "Ricola!" That is my dream. I have always wanted to stand on a mountain and yell Ricola. Doesn't take much to make me happy, does it? There I am, this African American kid from the US. Not well, actually, this old man. from the U.S., old black man from the U.S. standing on the mountains in Switzerland yelling, Ricola. And of course, I'm sure the people in Switzerland would be like, what is he doing? We don't do that here. Really? No, we don't do that here. It's 2023. Nobody yells Ricola. But it's my dream, so I have to go with it. So yeah, that would be pretty cool. At least that would give me something to plan. So let me think about it. Like I said, I will know better. Did I say next month? This month? I keep saying it like it's next month, but I will know better later this month whether or not I shall make that trip. But gosh, it would be exciting. I would be like all wound up about it all the way up until the point the plane takes off. Wow, isn't that exciting? See, I'm smiling. This is that same smile I had the last time I traveled somewhere. I always get that smile, and then for months it's like the anticipation and the build up to it. So, what is that? Switzerland is beautiful. Yeah, I've been through there on the train, and I actually changed trains in Switzerland. So, riding the trains and looking out those windows at those pristine mountaintops, and you see these villages, and you look off in the distance, especially on the night trains, you can't see anything, but you see lights in the distance. They almost look like stars dotting the sides of a mountain. But yeah, the Alpine mountains are beautiful. So, and you see these mountain lakes, which, the water is so clear and fresh and clean. And then, of course, when I visit, people on the trains will see this rather overstuffed, over caffeinated, chubby baby boomer standing on the side of the mountain yelling. Well, the windows of the train, you won't be able to hear me, and they'll just see me and they'll know that I'm yelling Ricola. But yeah, when the train goes by, my arms will be extended like the sound of music, and the people on the train won't hear me. But trust me, I am yelling Ricola. Maybe I'll do like Julie Andrews. I wonder how I would look in an apron. Is that what Julie Andrews wore? Maybe I'll put on an apron and throw my arms out and sing the sound of music. I mean, at least it'd be more, you know, recognized than Ricola. I had to think about that. That was Austria, though, right? Sound of Music, wasn't that Austria? But it doesn't matter. I mean, it's still the mountains, so maybe I'll do that. The hills are alive with the sound of Ricola. Yes, I'll improvise. I will sing The Hills Are Alive with the sound of Ricola. Okay, I guess I'm going. I guess I'm going. I am going to run around in that same frock that Julie Andrews wore, and I am going to throw my arms out and sing The Hills Are Alive with the sound of music. It's like the portrait Norman Rockwell forgot to paint. Uh-oh, what did I just knock over? But yes, that's what I'm going to do. So it's a date. I am going to Switzerland after I finish with the Invictus games, and I am going to run around the mountaintops with my arms extended, at least before they get tired, and I am going to yell Ricola at the top of my lungs. Okay, you guys, that's it. Thank you so much. I am going to go and start binge watching. And of course, thank you to our faves, our Queen of Hearts, and our Queen of Everything, Doria. And thank you, moderators. Thank you all for your donations, including PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, And of course, the members of the um, Royal Sussex and also the Patreon. Remember, Patreon people, it is impossible to use the stickers with the Patreon. You can only use them if you have a membership with the, you know, through the YouTube and not the Patreon. There was a little confusion about that in the past, but yeah, you don't have access to the stickers like that. So, all right. So, thank you very much. And Mo Shannon, thank you for being here with us today. We're all glad that you're here. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. And Sherry Ware, thank you for the list. Okay, let me see. Baron, I look out to mountains each day. Really? Oh, that is so cool. I love having mountains nearby because I like the way they change throughout the day. It's like there's the darker ones at one time of day, then the sun is beaming straight on them. I think that is so cool. So you are so lucky to have that. Although I have always grown up near a large body of water, so if I don't know that the lake is right there, then I feel weird. So, you know, growing up by the Great Lakes, when you know the lake is right there, you just kind of, it's like a feeling that you have. I can't describe it, but anytime I go, like when I went to Atlanta, it was so weird to me because there was no water nearby, and I'm not used to that. I'm just used to the lake is right there. So, okay, I think we are good. All right, so let's do the Ginge Avenge. Do you guys know that this is the first Ginger Avenger for the first official Royal Sussex of 2023? Did you guys know that? Or did you know it'd be just a matter of time before I say it? But yes, this is the first Ginger Avenger of 2023 for the first Royal Sussex of 2023. And so this is the first of this, and the that of that. So, so considering that this is the first this and that of that, without any further ado, cue Ginger. Oh, looks like Sherry and Sade is coming on in 30 minutes. All right, well, I'm getting off just in the nick of time. Let me see here. So, cue Ginger Avenger, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Do you think that the massage oil is over the top, or is the wine coolers where I'm going too far? Um, I'm just trying to be hospitable, that's all. Plus, it is a lot of work protesting, and sometimes muscles lock up, and you know what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure that if there's a need for an emergency rub down, that somebody can do it. But oh man, I mean, you just never know. You know what I'm saying? All of that protesting and people yelling and screaming and carrying on. Somebody's got to do it. Let's see. Let me see. Baron to vote for Live to Lead. You do it on Netflix. There's a thumbs up. Oh, that's easy. Down and double thumbs up. Forgot. Love it. Oh, okay. All right. Very cool. I can definitely do that. I will. Thank you so much. That was very helpful, and also thank you so much for the super chat. All right. So, okay. Yeah, I probably just won't. I don't. I mean, in spirit, I agree with the protesters, but I don't want to catch a case. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? In spirit, I may agree with them in spirit, but I certainly don't want to catch a case. So I'll probably just leave the protest to the protesters because it can get weird fast. You know what I mean? So, um, no oils, no wine coolers, um, no sending photos back and forth and that kind of stuff. That may be misinterpreted, and then all of a sudden people get caught up in their feelings. So, uh, you know what I mean? So, and then too, it's always awkward when you're in a crowd of people and somebody yells, "I don't want to take my shirt off. Why are you asking me to take my shirt off?" You know what I mean? Have that ever happened to you? Anyway, I'm just cool, being silly. So, let's see. But yeah, I'm fixing to go. I already said it. I'm fixing to go. Let me see. What's that, Baron? Only rub you need on your it's icy hot. Okay, yeah, icy hot is for old people. Let me see here. Okay. Well, I did have that mishap some years ago when I think I mentioned this before when I was getting ready for bed and I was kind of congested, so I put some Vicks on my chest. And then I'm laying there trying to sleep, and then suddenly I realized that I still had 20/20 vision. I forgot to take off my contact lenses. So having put Vicks on my chest and I'm all vaporized, of course I washed my hands after I put the Vicks on, but then I went to, take the contacts out, and then I realized that my eyes had kind of caught the vapors from my fingers. And then, if that's not enough, as I'm laying there, my chest is vaporized, my eyes are all vaporized. Then I realize I gotta pee. This is a true story. Then I realized I had to pee. So, needless to say, I didn't get much sleep that night because there were three different areas that were vaporized by the time I finally dozed off. Um, so, the moral of the story is if you use Vicks Vapor Rub, make sure that you do everything, and I do mean everything you need to do before you, you know, go to bed, because otherwise you are going to be, up all night blinking and, you know, kind of feeling uncomfortable in places that you didn't suspect that you would. So that is that happened to me a long time ago, and I never forgot that. Uh, I'm literally like laying there in the dark, just all vaped up. So yeah, that's the moral of the story. Um, I'll tell you some more stories. Some snowy night by the fire. Let me see. Oh, you're welcome, Pam Porter. I am enjoying myself. That's why I'm still here. I'm actually having fun. Let me see there. That is a good way to start the year. And you know what they say, the way you start the year, that's the way you'll finish your year. So let's start the year with laughter and joy, and we will end this year the same way. I promise. Well, yeah, I mean, you can wash your hands, but you still have vapors in your pores. So, I did wash my hands, but still there was vapors in my fingertips. And so, of course, I would never take out my contacts without washing my hands, but still I felt like my eyes were vaped. Um I was, I was laying in the bed. I'm just like, why do I still have 20/20 vision? That's interesting. Oh, I forgot to take my contacts out. And then after all of that moving around, of course, then suddenly I realized I had to pee. Now, had I gone to sleep sooner, I probably wouldn't have had to pee. But after that ordeal, and then having gone to pee, then at that point, um, everything was vaporized. I'm surprised I didn't cure my nearsightedness that night. Um, oh man, I can't believe I'm sharing that story, but I have told it to friends before. Well, I guess I am amongst friends, so I'm telling it now. But yeah, it was just one of those little funny situations that you don't really expect. Oh no, you used the cleaning solution for your contacts as a wetting solution. Yeah. Oh, ouch. That is bad. Yeah. Ooh, I'm sorry that happened. Um, Let me see. Have I mistaken any household chemicals before? Um, okay, so I'm very careful to keep my bleach away from the um ammonia for obvious reasons. You never want to mix those. So I'm very careful to keep those away from each other. But I do keep ammonia in a spray bottle, and I also keep like 70% rubbing alcohol in a spray bottle. And I have, made the mistake with those before where I sprayed like rubbing alcohol on the floor, to like remove a stain or not a spill or something like that. So I've mixed up those two before, and I'm pretty sure that I've mistaken some other stuff, you know, like sugar and salt. Sometimes I reach for like the container of salt, which looks just like the container for the sugar. And these are those store containers with that plastic top that you can turn it to the spout. I have mistaken those before. And then, of course, medication and vitamins. I've made that mistake before too. So that is the life of the baby boomer. Is grabbing the wrong thing. Oh man. All right. I think we're good. Thank you so much, Pam Porter. And let's see. Yes, Patricia Ann Franklin. I am so happy about Brazil. That is so important to everyone, and it is not even a big story today. Let me see here. Uh, actually, that was in Paris. But yeah, well, okay. So the first time I went to Paris, I was still using payphones. The smartphone was not a big thing, and I went in a phone booth, and they had this phone card where you like enter the number, and then you get a call back, and then you enter the number you want to dial. So first the number from the card that you buy at the shop, and then you enter the number you want to dial after you get the call back. So I did this a few times, and the phone booths were made by a company called JC Ducot, French company, and they're all glass. Now, of course, they probably don't have them anymore, but they're all glass. And so when you go in the phone booth, you are surrounded by glass. And so I would dial the number, and I would, take a deep breath and lean back on the glass wall and wait for the ring back, right? Well, there's one particular time I went in the phone booth, did the same thing, and went to lean back on the glass wall. There was no glass wall. And if it wasn't for the fact that I was holding that receiver, I would have flown out the back of that phone booth. I would have flown out the back of that phone booth like somebody had just spit out a piece of gristle. I was so shocked that there was nothing behind me. And what was so crazy is after the fact, I realized that when I closed the door, that I could still hear traffic, but it didn't register that there was no glass wall behind me. And so as I'm struggling, I mean, it was the mother of all battles to keep from falling out into the street, because the back of the phone booth was the curb and then the street. And so if I hadn't held on to that receiver, then I would have just flown out the back of the phone booth. It would have been like somebody were filming a movie or something. Boy, did that scare me. And I was like twisting and struggling and trying to pull myself back in because my behind was sticking out the back of the phone booth where the glass should have been. And then, of course, like anybody that, falls or nearly falls, the first thing you do is you look around to see who sees you. And all I saw was like this cab driver, turning through his paper and everything. And I'm just like, this guy doesn't even know that I have been fighting for my life mere feet away from his car because of the missing glass on the back of the phone booth. Oh my God. I was like out of breath. I was sweating. My shirt had rolled all up on my stomach and everything. I was in there twisting and pulling, trying to pull myself back into the phone booth. My feet stayed in my feet stayed in the phone booth. And my behind, it was, trying to pull out of there. But yeah, it was so, so funny. And I was like, nobody would ever believe this if I told this story, but that is the reason it happened, is because it was an all glass phone booth and I just expected the back wall to be there. So that is how travelers get hurt. Oh man. Yeah, this is the most people I have ever told that story to, but that was a true story. And that happened in Paris back in 2007. That was my first time ever going there. And and of course, like any place in the world, when you see JC Ducot, they usually make like the bus shelters, they made the phone booths and stuff like outdoor furnishings like that. They made stuff like that. So see, that's what happens because the Parisians are always trying to be so avant-garde and so fancy that they make a phone booth with no walls, just glass. Uh, Le Crystal phone booth. Le Crystal phone booth. Um, yeah, you can get somebody killed with those things. Okay, you guys, that's it for my interesting travel stories or my fixed paper rub story. Let me see. What's that? I'm walking the fur baby and the cars are passing. Sweet baby Jesus. Oh, nice. Okay. Let me see here. Oh, that's for Connie Balmer. Let me see. The same company that inspired a former mayor to install the bus stops enclosures. Yes, yes, they make those bus stops enclosures too. Yep, with the glass walls. Yes, may I add, with the glass walls. There is nothing more frightening than leaning back and whatever you thought you were leaning on is not there. But I tell you what if that phone receiver had come loose in my hand? Could you imagine me laid out on let's say, the Avenue de Foge or something like that, on the spread eagle on the ground with the phone receiver in my hand? And then the authorities, Monsieur, you will have to pay for it. Monsieur, you must pay for the phone receiver. Oh, man. So not only would I have been badly injured, I would have had a bill to replace the phone receiver. And even worse, what if they thought I broke the glass, but it wasn't there? So, oh man, um, I'm trying to think. Have I had any other mishaps like that when I was traveling? I shouldn't think so. But I have to tell you guys, I got on people's nerves on the train because, in the US, when the train stops, the doors open. But in Europe, most of the trains, you push a button or you hit a lever and the doors open. So, like if you ride the subway in New York, all the doors open. But in Europe, most of the trains, if you ride the trains there, you have to hit a lever or push a button to open the doors. And so I would stand there and almost miss my stop. And if it wasn't for people behind me, pardon, and they hit that button and the doors open, well, it took me a while before I caught on. I'm like, oh, you got to do that to get out. And that is smart because on those cold days, why let all that cold air into the train unnecessarily when you could just push the button to open the door? So that way, fewer doors open, to um, get out at the stop. So yeah, that was smart. Now, okay, I'll tell you another thing that was confusing for me, and it's not really a funny story, but I was on one of those newer trains in Paris, and I'm looking through the train, and I was wondering, why is it I could see so far into the next train? Well, there was no divider between the rail cars. It was all one long space. There wasn't those emergency doors. It was the length of the train was completely open from front to back. And I had never seen that before. But I thought that was so cool. The whole train from front to back was wide open. So that's one of the fun things about traveling, especially if you have like a very curious mind. You will see so many like little quirky things that are so different from being at home that becomes like part of the adventure. Like, for instance, when I went to the Biltmore and I saw that little linen fold carving on the door, I just thought about that for, I don't know, all day. I was like, isn't that the most clever thing you ever seen? But I didn't know what to call it. And then when I found out what it was, then it was that much more interesting. I'm like, I've seen that before. That's at the Biltmore. So that's what I get out of travel. It's not really the big things. It's the little small things that makes me go, huh, that is so interesting. Lydia Washington, Baron Church Nellie has joined us. Would you be so kind to share her special photo? I certainly shall. Church Nellie, you couldn't be here with us yesterday for whatever reason. Tavern, juke joint, whatever. But um, I had a special present for you. By the way, thank you, Lydia, for reminding me. I had a special present for you, and I shall bring that up directly. Let me see here. Just a little something to say Merry Christmas and something to help keep your feet warm on those cold winter nights. Bam! Bam! Just a little something to keep your feet warm on those cold little winter nights when the draft and the frigid damp air. you know I mean, who hasn't walked out of the uh, bedroom and staggered to the kitchen and found some scantily clad young man cooking a meal for them? I mean, it happens all the time, doesn't it? So, anyway, Merry Christmas and happy 2023 to you, Church Nelly, and many happy returns of the day. And I heard him exclaim as he stepped into sight, "Good morning, Church Nelly. How do you want your eggs tonight?" Oh, man. Uh, uh, well, anything for you. So, I think we're good. I've done the Ginger Avenger, our queens, and all of that. Oh, the last comment of the day. That I did not do. The last comment of the day. Uh, Let me see. Okay, there you are. Still hungover, Baron. That is the last comment of the day. And the very first, last comment of the day for 2023. Still hungover. All right. All right. Let's see. Yes, and survive. That's it, Connie Balmer. You're right. That is the most important thing is that we have survived. Let me see. Okay. And we're good, good, good. All right, you guys. God bless. Happy New Year. Love you guys. And I will see you all tomorrow. Yep, we are good. See you, Mo Shannon. And thanks for reminding me about that my my phone booth incident. Oh man, I love telling that story. Yes, thank you so much. Oh, wait, there we go. Everyone, please stay safe, pray, don't peg ever, and hydrate. Oh, thank you, Lydia. Okay, see you guys.